New image appearing to show China's J-36 sixth-generation tactical jet parked on the ground has emerged online. If legitimate, this would be the best front view of the aircraft to date, notably providing clear proof of the canopy design and further confirmation of a side-by-side seating arrangement. What looks to be 3 open ventral weapons bays, along with nearby personnel, underscored the design's large size. Something of a hybrid between a very heavy fighter and a tactical bomber. You can read more about what is already known about the J-36, as well as the second of China's 6th-generation jets, referred to variously as the JXDS or J-50 in this past in-depth feature. I was also watching the main Chinese media, and they too were doing a lot of analysis on this newly released front view image, which means this image is quite likely to be real. A few days ago, I made a video in which I mentioned that this Chinese jet is the J-36, a large-sized twin-seat fighter jet. And what's interesting is that its twin seats are side by side. Normally, twin-seat fighter jets have one seat in front and one behind. But in the case of China's J-36, the twin seats are positioned side by side. It is immediately worth noting that there are some visual anomalies in the image in question, which is seen at the top of this story and in various parts below, and was clearly taken with a long lens at a distance, low over the ground. Most significantly, areas around the rear end of the aircraft and its dorsal inlet look as though they may have been smudged or cloned out to some degree. This missing area behind the dorsal inlet could also just be a glare from a lighter-colored section of the aircraft camouflage paint scheme, or some combination of the two, but it is hard to say definitively. The main gear area, especially the right side of the image, appears to be manipulated, or there is something placed there in the shadows. The image is also a picture taken of another picture on a computer monitor, which could cause some visual distortions. In addition, many phone cameras now produce images that are enhanced by default. At the same time, overall, the core image does look legitimate. In addition, the background aligns with an area around an extended-width shelter, and especially the distinctive white slatted jet blast barrier built behind it. The shelter first appeared at the Chengdu Aircraft Corporation's main plant in the Chinese city of the same name last December. That was when the J-36, together with the JXDS or J-50, first broke cover. Chengdu is understood to be the developer of the J-36, and the aircraft has been observed flying from there on multiple occasions in the past 6 months. Another secure hangar on the main ramp appears to have been built to support the program as well. If the image is indeed real, it would fully put to rest the question of whether or not the J-36 has at least a 2-seat side-by-side cockpit configuration akin to the US-made F-111 or the Soviet-designed Su-34. The green-tinted reflections from 2 separate heads-up displays are plainly visible. As seen below, it has previously noted that a crew of 2 seems most likely to meet the demands of the jet's expected mission sets, as you can read more about in this past feature. Also, perhaps of the highest interest at this stage, is the very strong evidence, based on the open doors that are visible, of the presence of 2 smaller weapons bays that flank the jet's large ventral weapons bay. There does not appear to be any confusion between those bay doors and the ones for the aircraft's landing gear. Previous underside views of the J-36 have shown large, molded, outward hinging doors for the aircraft's large tandem wheel main landing gear, as well as 2 smaller doors for the nose gear bay. That's all for today's update. Please subscribe and like this video.